Hey guys, we are back today for another HD11 video. There it is. We are going to put on this beautiful, beautiful DRT Motorsports rear step bumper that they so nicely sent to us to put on our HD11. So we're going to go over it. They have their own video on their website, but it's really not that good, and there's no real instructions. So we're going to cover it and re-elaborate all the stuff that they missed on it, and just kind of go over it with a full review and stuff. And nobody like Thumper Fab, like all these other companies do not make a step bumper like this at all. Theirs are all like very, I guess, cliche. Even Can-Am's is just like a rear tube bumper that goes on the back and has like 2 loops on it. So this is definitely way different and stood out to me. So I reached out to this company and I have been working with them for a couple weeks now. They have had it out for a while, but it was actually on back order for 2 weeks and we actually just got it. So it's pretty cool. So we're able to throw it on. They also have a couple more things. They have a front bumper available too, and it's pretty unique as well. But I like how they have these accents in it. And then, of course, their logo. You can, of course, take these out. So enough about that. Let's get into the video. So here we have the bumper on their website. Now, this is their factory website. They give a couple views of it now. They don't have a lot of pictures of it because this thing literally just came out. Here's the price, $535 on it. It looks pretty awesome, and in person, it is even better. So here's the specifications. You can protect your rear chassis, cargo components, improve clearance in tight trail conditions, maintain full bed function during use, which we'll go over, and support clean integration with your factory camera systems, which it does that as well. We'll go over that. And it matches factory body lines for a cohesive look, which it definitely does. We'll go over that as well, as you can see, and we'll show that real good. Protect your HD11 from hard hit and body damage, which it definitely will, like your tailgate and your tail lights, etc., your whole bed. It kind of goes over everything that I just kind of covered and all that. It also has a really decent finish, and it has the removable accent plates like I went over for paint or powder coat or whatever you want to do, different colors. It's laser cut steel and formed to consistent fitment. It's durable, and it does have a very fine texture. Here's their YouTube video, which isn't that great on installing it. I've watched it several times myself. It's kind of terrible, and I would kind of stick to mine. Here's a couple of the other products that they offer. Front bumper and the headache rack's pretty cool that they offer. I'd check that out, that's pretty one of a kind. And of course, they have other manufacturers that they make stuff for. Here's their contact information in California and their phone number. So let's get into it. In the box, this thing is packaged super awesome. It comes wrapped in this really nice foam stuff. Then it comes in a really nice box with DRT tape on it. And then they have foam securing it in there with a nice plastic wrap. So I give them a really good grade on the packaging. That's really awesome. That's the best packaging that I've seen in a while. So this is a all welded steel bumper. I believe it is also 1/8 inch, fully powder coated. I don't know that you can get it custom colors, but this one's just black, which is fine. The silver accents kind of accent my silver we're going with. Like I said before, you can take these out, put lights in here. You could paint these whatever color you want. You could paint this, but I'm just going to leave it because that is the accent color that I have on my Can-Am anyways. Peep the headache rack, by the way, guys. That is from Midwest Custom Fabs. Check out my last video on that. You'll see that. So back to this video. So here's some of the stuff in the package. We got the bumper brackets, front and rear. They also come individually wrapped, a nice sticker, and a license plate bracket, which we'll have to go over that. I'm not really sure where that goes. Again, I have my mirror I still have not put on, and my street legal kit I still have not put on. So without that being said, we got a couple things here. These are the bolts that will attach the bumper to the brackets, and you're going to need a 17mm wrench. The nuts are 17mm. The bolts themselves are 15. These look like all good quality bolts because they're a 10-9 grade. Pretty good to me. This is where I get kind of weirded out because they use factory holes on the frame of the buggy to attach the brackets to. So these are kind of cheesy and small. Could have they used larger ones? Yes, but they're using factory holes because these are like huge. These are like, what are these, M10s? And these are like M6s that hold it to the frame. Regardless. So there's 2 ones that are different. I'm not sure what those are either. And we got 2 different washers here. And we got some lock washers, and the nuts are a 10 millimeter, and the screws are an Allen head, and they are a 5/32. I'm not sure what that is in millimeters. That's the one I found fit tightest in there. It's probably metric. And then we got 2 other screws, and they are a 3 millimeter. Let's see real quick. We have a millimeter one to fit, maybe a 4 or a 5. I mean, a 4 fits it. So it also could be a 4. Just be sure, you know, you're not stripping them out. Okay, so just to interrupt this video real quick. So I got everything set up here. I've had the bumper on a couple weeks now, so these tiny bolts here that are M6, they actually sent me the correct ones that are supposed to be M8, so that was a correction in the bumper kit. I'm going to go ahead and change those out, so you guys are going to watch me put the M6 ones in, but actually they need to be M8. You guys will have M8s in your kit, which that's what these are here, what they're labeled, and that's what I got, and that's what they're going to be, so they're going to be a lot heavier duty, and that is what I ended up having to do with my license plate bracket, and that is how it mounts with my license plate light. No, you guys aren't gonna have to do that. I had to eliminate this hole, and I had to like kind of egg them all out so I could slide it back and only use the front 2 holes. But I did put an extra bolt in the front hole so it still has all 3. But that's what I ended up having to do for my license plate light to work. Otherwise, this sits like almost right against the bumper, and that wasn't going to work. So let's get on with the video. Here is the new bolts. It says right here on the bag, revision kit. It comes with washers and nuts and the bolts, and they are both 13 millimeter head and a 13 millimeter nut. Let's go get the other ones out. Here's what we are replacing. These are an M6, and they are a 4 millimeter head and a 10 millimeter nut. I added the washers with these, bam, M8 with a 13 millimeter head and a 13 millimeter nut. They are lock nuts. You guys should get these correct ones in the kit, not these ones. And these actually are the correct size for the holes in the frame. They are an M8. These are just way too small, if you ask me, which is awesome because they did fix it. So that's awesome. They sent these right out to me, and we are going to throw these in. As you can see, they are plenty long enough for you to use a washer, and even if you want a washer on the other side, whatever, and for them to have a lock nut. So let's go ahead and get them thrown in. Go ahead and you have to throw the brackets on there first on the frame. I'll show you guys how to do that. You have to relocate the camera, which they don't really tell you about that. But the first thing is you have to take down this heat shield right here, and there's 4 bolts. You can't see them. I'll show you them. See them? 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm not a rocket scientist here, but pretty sure we're going to take these reflectors off. They say nothing about that in the video, but I'm pretty sure they're going to be in the way. They're just a T30 bolt. You can see right through there. We'll get those off. You see we got the heat shield down. I'm going to go ahead and just take the camera off now because we're going to have to relocate it and obviously take that off so we can put it on the bumper. So we got the camera off. It's a T20 Torx. There's 3 of them. 1, 2, 3. You look up under there. They just go into the plastic. They do give you like an extra thing, but I think we're gonna have to take it actually out of this like box thingy and just bolt it on with those. But we're gonna have to see how the bumper is. So let's just plug it for now, and then we'll go from there because we might have to take some of this down and like reroute it. So if you look, this side here, you're gonna use these holes right here for the bumper brackets. And if yours has a camera, guess what? You're gonna take all that down because it's right in the darn way. The other ones go to the taillights, and I have a feeling when I put my street legal kit, I'm gonna be all back into this again because those go to the taillights. But I'm not really sure, but we're gonna see what we can do here. I got the brackets on. Word to the wise, I added washers, see, on the front and the back. So I did the smaller ones on the front. They're just 1/4 inch washers. They will work because these are M6 bolts. I just snugged it up with my fingers. Just keep in mind, you should put the bracket here flush against there and then run the bolt in because it's a little tricky because it's got to sit behind that part of the bed. If you see, I'm going to leave everything loose until I get the bumper on here and everything lined up, obviously. So we got some wiggle room. So the next step is to put the bumper on. You can definitely do this yourself, but let's zoom out here a little bit. I just laid down, got some bolts ready and held it up. Again, I'm gonna run some washers on the nut side because the bolts are flanged, but the nuts aren't. I just always overkill everything. So that's definitely doable, it's just on there loose. So it looks like the license plate bracket, this is just me obviously guessing with no absolutely instructions or anything, can go on either side here. So here's from the underneath look. So the bumper actually goes on the outsides of the brackets, and then this looks like where the camera's gonna go. So we're gonna have to reroute that plug because it's not long enough. Go ahead and do that, make sure we're not pinching any wires up here, but it looks like there's factory holes up there to put this back up. So I did a little bit of improvising because it's just me doing this. I just ran a ratchet strap to the bed to hold it up evenly while I tighten all the bolts, so I don't have to try and struggle, so it'll stay up even. So let's get them all tightened and then we'll go and tackle the camera. So another thing to take note of right here, it's actually crushing, like it wasn't crushing, but it's pushing on these wires. So I'm gonna pull it out of there and pull them back and zip tie them up separate because I'd rather just not them being crushed. But everything else looks good under here. All these aren't touching. So we'll go ahead and do that. I got the brackets tight now, and then I just have to tighten these ones on the actual bumper itself. Also, I took a level. You check the frame first, and obviously it was a little bit off. And I put it on there, and it's pretty much dead nuts when I put it. I'll just show you. See, you put it on the frame. Same amount of offness. So as long as they read even, you're good. So actually, you need to tip it down some, like that. That's how they want it, I'm assuming. It doesn't really look the best that way, but at least when you back into something, you have quite a ways before it's going to go up and smack your bed. And then this kind of is all angled down, and this is kind of flat. So I kind of get their idea here. So it's kind of like angled down so the dirt and water rolls off of it, and it's just not sitting with dirt and water when you rinse it off. So I get that too. Unfortunately, we had to take it back off because you gotta. And we might need to cut a little more of this wire harness down for the camera. But while we have it off, we're gonna put the camera on it. And that's that. This is just my opinion also. On these side brackets here, they should have added a third bolt because there is 3 holes in each side. And like, if you do put a lot of pressure on these, again, those are only M6 and these are M10s, you can move this bracket. So I think they should have did a third bolt, but that's just me. But hey, we'll see how it handles and holds up. But we got the heat shield back on. We're gonna work on the camera now. So you're gonna have to take this camera out of this little protective housing thingy here and undo the wires and stuff. And then it looks like those 2 bolts are 7s, and then they should fit right in there, and you can run your wiring up through. Hopefully you don't smash your camera off. But I'd assume you'd like hit the bumper before you smash the camera. So let's get those out and we'll figure out how to run the wires and what bolts to use. I think it's these countersunk ones here, but let's see. There is your camera. They're actually 8mm screws. And then there's 2 grommets here and here. One holds the plug back there and one holds the plug inside. This is actually the same as the front camera. They're exactly the same. You can buy a factory front camera, literally, I think, or back. Because mine's already wired for the front. I just got to put the front one on it. But it's only like 130 bucks. And you can just bolt it right on the front bumper and ta-da, you're done. So I'm not so sure what we're going to have to use here or do. But I might want to... This is a plug. No, it's not. Okay, this is, and it's a weather pack. So let's bolt it on there and see what we can come up with. So it does indeed take those countersunk screws. I did put anti-seize on them because they're tiny. And what if you ever need to take them off? So you're gonna have to take the retainer off this and cut the zip tie off that. The retainer's pretty simple. You just pull this tab up. It sits in here like this. Focus. Sits in here like this. And you pull the front up and slide it backwards out. Done. So you don't break it. So we'll get that screwed on there and we'll put the bumper back on there and see what we can do to make these wires somewhat neat. It takes a little finagling, but the longer other bolts that are 13mm replace for your license plate bracket bolts, they're a little bit longer. They're a perfect length, and they're not a 17 and a 15 anymore. You're doing a 13 and a 17. So these are 13 instead of a 15. but it takes a little bit of finagling to get the other bolts to line up some, but we got them all in there. There you go. We got the new bolts there for the license plate, and they're definitely long enough now because I even ran a washer, if you can see right there. Perfect. And there you have it, all done. It's nice and sturdy now. I really step on it. Does not move at all. Perfect. There you have it. I just literally got done. I checked the camera, made sure it worked. As for a 30-minute job, no, I did this by myself completely. Granted, I did have to take the back bumper back off because I did not have instructions. Hopefully this video will help you guys. It took me about 2 hours. So there's the camera on there. And another thing is, make sure you bend all these heat shields up because the bumper will rub on it. See, I even got it to not touch this one. And what I did there is I re-zip tied everything back up the best I could, because normally that goes in this hole here. And you can see you're going to want to tip the bumper down the whole way, just like a little tip, because obviously you're going to be stepping on this, etc. Tip the bumper down the whole way and then tighten it up. So what I found was easiest is I'll get under here, get a 17 millimeter on the socket and go on the inside, because these flange bolts are grippy and they won't spin, but you will need a wrench on them. But you can finally tighten them, like do your final tighten with the ratchet. It's easier with this bumper pulled the whole way down. Here is how I ran the backup camera. I put conduit over it. I tied the small wire up a little bit with electrical tape inside, and I ran a conduit, and then I went ahead and put the grommet back on and used this hole. Sure, it's not like the most tightest hole to fit in, but then I didn't know what else. I didn't want this all loose, so I kind of tied it up like that. But you also don't want to have it like pulled super tight where it's going to pull out of the camera. So see, it's a little bit loose there. So that's okay. I just wanted it snug against here so it can't catch anything. And then it was very nice that I could use the factory grommet, and I put in that hole in the bumper. And then I kind of just pushed the heat shield down over top of the plug so it cannot move. And then I ran another zip tie right there to that other wire from the camera plug. So there's that. So that is the install, guys. Could you run these to reflectors? Absolutely not. And they don't tell you to take them off because they go right there, and that would be stupid. So there it is, the DRT Motorsports rear bumper for the HD11. It's kind of nice because you can step on it up into your bed. Nice step. There's a nice wide spot there for a step, and even you can step on that if you want. It should do great protecting your tailgate and your bed and stuff. I mean, the gaps look nice. It comes clean out here. The aesthetics is really great. It fits really nice. It has nice little body lines like they come up like that. Here's it from the side. So you even got side protection a little bit there. So this is the like nicest bumper that I've seen. It's like aesthetically pleasing, and it's actually functional with a step on it. All the other ones really don't have a step, and it fits nice. Now there is some, it does stick out at the back some, so that's perfect if you're gonna back into something. Hopefully you hit your bumper first. You know, like mostly brush, trees, whatever. Sure, if it's up higher, you're probably gonna smash the crap out of your tailgate, but hey, this is an off-road machine, and I did confirm the camera works. It is just a little bit lower. Obviously, it used to be up under there, and now it's all the way down here. So whatever, and it's not really a big deal because this is like on a metal housing, and if you have the front camera, it just goes on the front bumper anyways too. So it goes right here on the front bumper, literally. So you'd be, you know, prone to hitting all kinds of stuff also. So I'm not really worried about that. So now that we have this installed, we're going to see if they allow it will dump the whole way and not hit the tires. So we're going to dump it, and then I'll pick you guys back up. So with doing that, I learned I need to take that off. But so it doesn't hit the tires, but it does. What it does do is it hits the hitch receiver. So if you have a receiver in, it's definitely going to hit that. But I don't think it's hitting it bad. But I think it's almost dumped the whole way. I mean, that's usually how high it goes. I mean, if you can see right there, it's definitely hitting the receiver. Okay, so I figured out what it is. It's the camera that hits it. See the camera touching it? Right there? That's what's hitting the camera. There you guys have it. That is the full install video with full instructions, because there is no instructions on these at all. And I think that looks awesome. So thanks, guys. Tune in again for more.